All right, so the first video I want to watch today is Montoya reviews Alien Week ships. So I don't follow the ship website game very much. I follow the game, and Montoya follows everything. So he's the only one that really has a video that is covering all this stuff. So I figured it would be a pretty good opportunity to check out, I guess.
Coming out, we should have an Inside Star Citizen coming out shortly with more information on the much-awaited and anticipated brand new merchantman. But for now, let's take a look at the page they put up showing us all the fancy ship colors and paints and deals they have. So, what is Alien Week? Well, in observation of...
Like, I checked it out. I checked out what ships were available. There was really nothing new. I just scrolled through it and went by. Maybe he has a little more insight on it.
The first contact day in celebration of a wide array of alien vessels available to human pilots. We want to sell you stuff, says CIG. It's time again to celebrate our galaxy's wondrous diversity with Alien Week. So what we have here are the bunch of alien ships. Now, these typically run a bit more expensive than the usual ships. You new guys, I'm doing this video for you to explain what you should possibly look to and what to avoid. But I thought I'd take a look at the ships they have for us on sale right now, and I'll give you my opinion, starting with the Blade. $275 for the Blade is...
Okay, so now we're going to get... This is going to be good. We're going to get the opinion on the value of the ship versus what it could do in game or whatever, maybe. And, like, I look at it this way. They're all too expensive. They're all not worth the money. So, this is going to be more entertaining than I thought it was.
Expensive. I'm actually surprised. I had no idea it was $275. I don't know why I thought it was cheaper, but honestly, I have not seen many blades being used in PvP in the game. If you like alien ships and you like the design, yeah, maybe. But as far as, I mean, I can count on one hand the amount of times I've come across a blade during any kind of PvP in this game. It's very rare. But I think maybe after Squadron 42, where there's more of this in the game, maybe it'll be more popular then. But for $275, kind of pricey. This brings us to the Defender. Now, the Banner Defender in stock form with the gold paints is pretty. I think it's very, very shiny.
Okay.
It is pretty.
Very
and
shiny,
originally,
very pretty.
when this came out, with the tachyon weapons, they were basically hit scan weapons. This thing dominated. It was awesome. Naturally, they went and nerfed it a bit because it was too OP. But as far as light fighters go, this has a lot of interior room. It has beds for logout. So if you want to do some PvE or PvP and you just want to log out in the bed, you can. For that, I think it's awesome. Also, the design is kind of interesting. It has two cockpits side by side, which is like a Banu lore thing. But as far as the stock Defender goes in this paint, yeah, I think it's not bad at all. And if they...
It's also... You could have 4 size 3 weapons on it, I think. So it's actually quite decent in PvP. Is it considered a light fighter? I think it probably it's like more of like a saber, but better. In terms of... Because it doesn't have that profile, but...
If they ever bring the tachyon weapons back to anywhere close to where they were, that'll be awesome. Next up is the Car-2 which is the Scout Fighter. Now, this was the first alien ship sold to us in Star Citizen. It is very nimble. It is very unique in its styling, in the sound it makes when it flies around. And I love the staircase, which is levitating when you go into the cockpit. That is awesome. Also, the shape changes from landing to flight. But
I'm pretty sure they call it heavy. Guys, you're incapable of reading. I don't know if you guys know, but you don't know how to read. Combat light fighter. So I thought I didn't know how to read, but
very unique
you guys
in its styling,
have a hard time
the
reading.
Sound it makes when it flies around, and I love the staircase, which is levitating when you go into the cockpit. That is awesome. Also, the shape changes from landing to flight. But, and a big but, the profile of it is massive. When in PvP, you have this huge frontal profile, which is very easy to hit. The ship is, while it may be nimble and it's great, those fixed size falls are nice, it's not really the best in hardcore PvP just because of the massive front profile of it. And if you do lose an engine, I know those side arms which hold the engines have been made tougher over the years, but if you do lose an engine, the ship is useless. It flies in circles. You can't do anything with it. But as far as the visuals and the audio of the ship, it's definitely one of my favorites. But when it comes to just PvP, maybe not so much. And on to the big boy, Gib Merchantman. This is a highly controversial ship, much anticipated, sold to us years ago for $250. And as they've been developing the ship and gone more and more into its design, it's just grown massively. So currently $600. Now I'm surprised.
He hasn't seen ISC yet either.
Sure, $750, $800 based upon the size of the ship and what it's.
Oh, we're getting there, Montoya. We're gonna hit $750, $800 on this thing, 100%. It's still $600 because it's not close enough to being in game yet, I think. But dude, after ISC, I imagine there will be a price hike very soon.
Supposed to do, or it's going to be a blockade runner, well, it's going to be, and now it's more into transport, heavy freight. It's definitely one of the more unique and interesting ships in the game. Also, probably one of the biggest that you can buy. So I'm surprised. I'm not going to tell you $600 is cheap. It's not cheap by any means, but I'm kind of surprised it's still at $600. I'm expecting $750, $800 when this
I
goes
have the
on final
merchantman
sale
already
when it does come out. So buy the NFT.
But I paid $250 for the merchantman, not $600. $250.
Key of the merchantman. Again, pricey, but
Guys, the Vandal blade costs more than my merchantman.
the ship has definitely grown in size, and we'll see more about this in Inside Star Citizen. Watch out for that coming out later today, I believe. This brings us on to the Nox, which has got to be my favorite space motorcycle. It is sleek, it is fast. I love everything about this. If you do want a space bike, this is my
Until the Origin one comes in, I bet he would like that
personal
better.
favorite. You don't have to agree with me. It's more for racing. Doesn't do well.
You got it for the
racing,
185.
them, but,
Dude, that was when it was the cheapest.
I do own 2 of these, or maybe 3. I won one actually, the silver one. Yeah, it's a cool one. Then the Prowler. All right,
worthless.
Design-wise, probably my top 3 favorite designs in Star Citizen. This ship was a beast. This thing wrecked everything. On release, this ship was like a dogfighter, and those cannons just destroyed everything. Both top and bottom guns are pilot controlled, so it was devastating. Naturally, they nerfed it. It's a lot more sluggish now, but the purpose of the ship was not meant to be a fighter. It's meant to be more of a drop ship. So as far as drop ships go, how many times have you actually used a dropship in the game right now? We haven't used it much, but a special feature on the Prowler is it's got these kind of grav lift systems, supposed to be able to hover over.
The reason we don't use dropships very much is the dropship, I guess, category. They have not great shields and not a lot of health. So it might have something to do with like armor in the future, but you would think a dropship would just be beef shields, beef health. So you could just survive fire and drop your people on the ground, right? The gunship, what is it? The, not Retaliator, not Reclaimer, Redeemer is way beefier than any dropship in the game. The roles should be reversed. Reverse the roles.
Over the ground,
and then people would use dropships more often.
The plan is these bunkers where there's turrets protecting them. A ship like this is probably going to be the one that flies under the radar because it's kind of stealthy. That's the purpose of it eventually. But as far as design goes, I love it. As far as purpose goes, haven't used it that much. If you have an org of 30, 40 people and you
there's just nothing to drop to? There was. It was called Jumptown, and people didn't use dropships because they didn't work. People used the Redeemer, right?
That one. But again, pricey because of the alien tax, but otherwise I love everything about the Prowler. The Raylan.
I saw somebody in chat, I think it was Daddy Cash, said this is his favorite looking ship. Me too. And if they just had the cargo internal and not external, I would have loved it.
Right. Interesting ship. $225 when it sold. Wasn't bad. It's medium freight.
Sorry, I just had to
Very
close the
unique
door.
looking. Has some nice features coming in. It has like a levitating elevator that carries you up from the ground. Lots of very
But the cargo containers on the outside look good. I'm just worried about the function of them and them
cool
getting like
alien
blown
features
off and
in
stuff.
the railing itself. I have one of these in my hangars. I don't know.
I don't.
How much
I didn't
I'll
buy
be
this.
using it. We'll have to see. But as far as design goes, I love it. As far as what's
It's so cool
goes,
looking.
I love it.
Yeah.
But again, depends on your tastes. And then we have the SaltEMike medium fighter. So this is the alien equivalent of the Saber.
This
We
is
have
on the
size 3
roadmap,
weapons,
right?
top and bottom, I believe. And if it's anything like the
Like, they
Xeon
plan to
Scout,
work
it's
on this,
most likely going to be
think.
more maneuverable than the
gonna check.
Saber. But I'm guessing weaker shields or weaker armor to balance that out. Can't say much more about this. We don't have much more information on the ship right now. But again, basically, it's the equivalent of the Saber, just more maneuverable. If you like the look of the design, take a look at it. And lastly, oh no, there's two more. Okay, we have the Talon.
Nope.
For 115
It was.
as a light fighter, I like it. It's maneuverable, fixed size 4 weapons. It's kind of deadly if you're a good pilot, know what you're doing. It's pretty damn good in atmosphere and in space. Maneuverability is good, and its brother, the Shrike, which is the missile boat. Honestly, I've yet to see the amount of times I've seen this in PvP. Very rarely do I encounter this kind of ship. I can't say much more. So let's just summarize.
Oh my god, dude! It's one of the it's one of the better PvP ships in game. Yeah, it's so I'll help you out a little here, Montoya. It is the Talon, or is he just talking about the Shrike? Because I was looking over at the thing. Let me re-listen. Does he?
Fixed size 4 weapons. It's kind of deadly if you're a good pilot, know what you're doing. It's pretty damn good.
Okay, he was
in
just talking about the
atmosphere
Shrike.
and in
Dude, I
space.
thought he was talking about the
Maneuverability is
Talon.
Good, and its brother, the Shrike, which is the missile boat.
Yeah, I think he's right on
honestly,
that.
I've yet to see the amount of times I've seen this in PvP. Very rarely do I encounter this kind of ship.
I mean, maybe the Shrike is good in Atmo, but missiles are just so... I wonder if the Shrike with EM missiles now are, like, insanely powerful, because it has a lot of them, and EMs are just garbage. Like they're just so broken.
I can't say much more. So let's just summarize what we have here. The Blade for $275, pricey. I would pass on that. For $220 for the Defender, I give it a maybe to a yes. I think the interior space and the bed lockout make this a very unique.
I like the
light
idea of the
fighter.
Defender, yeah.
The Cartuel, as far as light fighters go,
You
the
can't
front
get them off
again.
easily,
If you're
can
into
you?
PvP, it's going to be rough. PvE, a lot better. Again, if you like the design, so a maybe on that. Banu Merchantman, I'm going to have to say yes. I'm sorry. I know
I'm
it's
gonna
pricey.
have to say yes.
But I believe this ship is only going to get more awesome and bigger and better as the design goes on. And I do believe it'll be a lot more expensive than this when it finally does go on sale in the year 2028. The Nox, yes, I love it. The Prowler, pricey.
Did he just say 2028? Again, he hasn't seen ISC yet, but that's funny.
But yes, because I love the design. The Raylan, again, if you like alien design, go for it. The SaltEMike, I'm going to say a maybe. I don't think it's going to be the best medium fighter. It's just the aesthetic. If you like the alien aesthetic, then a maybe. The Talon, absolutely yes. As a light fighter, I think it's awesome. I think it's maneuverable. It's great. I love the look of it. I love the cockpit of it. The way the window kind of peels away. And the Shrike, I'll have to say pass on that. Missiles in the game right now are just a no-go. One flak shaft or one flares and
Unless
missiles
it's
miss
CM.
everything. So maybe in the future missiles will be better and this will have a place. But at the
it's a
moment,
bug. It's broken.
it's a hard pass for me on that. All right, let's say we have some bundles here. We have the Banu Defender with a whole bunch of paints. All right. Yeah, I like
And the pins.
Defender as it is with the gold.
And the
Although
pins,
the silver
don't forget
on
the
on the
pins.
left-hand side there is not bad, and that black and purple is kind of cool. But I think the standard color on the Defender is
best,
my
yeah.
preference. So I don't know if I'd go for that. I think just the Banu Defender on its own is fine. And scrolling down to the bottom of the page, we have a bunch of pins. So if you like collectibles, you get that. And what we have here is the 2-pack of the Shrike and the Talon with a bunch of paints. Actually, take a look what we have here. This is War Bond, so you're paying cash, and it comes with 6-month insurance. So no LTI because This is not concept, but you are getting the Spear Talon and the Talon Shrike, and a whole bunch of paints. The armor set and the paints for $250. I would have said yes,
need more than one paint,
but
dude. I don't know what's gonna happen with the paint, but I really hope that we get at some point like it's not a paint dedicated to a specific ship.
I think the Shrike is kind of pointless at the moment, so no, I'd be passing on that.
So whatever
Although
you're buying now would
like,
hopefully be useful elsewhere.
Some of the paints on there. And with that, ladies and gents, I will leave you. We are looking forward to Inside Star Citizen now. If you like my content, you know what to do, which is give me a thumbs up, subscribe. Your comments below are awesome. Feel free to ask any questions.
We love Montoya's
I'll catch
content.
you in the next one.
Where Montoya stands here. We love Montoya's content. So yeah, I guess you caught me up a little bit on that. Damn, dude, just thinking about how good of a deal I got on the Bane & Merchantman is insane. And just from terms of like, I could absolutely sell that thing on the gray market and make money, which is crazy.